I mean, yeah, I think that's the best thing. Everyone knowing that, you know, we're married, everything's out in the open. We can kind of celebrate that with friends and family. But yeah, I think we'd have liked a different story, a smoother one, but
one where it wasn't me sort of, you know,
deciding. But yeah, no, I think it's good. Yeah.
For me, I feel like it was relatively easy to do that because I've got a very small circle anyway. So the people who came to the wedding were probably the ones that I wanted to enjoy the day with, and you know, yeah, I think it was I'd go up north to visit Ben in the beginning. He'd come down south, and then he moved in, and it felt pretty seamless in some ways. Although it was an adjustment, it felt very natural.
Yeah, like you said.
Nice. So you were in your own little bubble almost. That must be quite nice.
Yeah, it was like the private time for the past year since we got married was really nice. I think we needed it too, just to kind of get ourselves settled in the marriage and get the foundations there and strong, ready to face all this public intrigue. So yeah, I think I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And you meant
a few trips, didn't we? We met my family in Germany. Our surname's Grunewald Bridey, which is like Mrs. GB for short. So we met my Opa Grunewald, our namesake, who was ill around the time of our wedding. So my family couldn't make the wedding, which is a real shame. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you got to meet him, and he gave his big approval. Absolutely loves to pieces. Yeah. Loves your laugh. As well.
I love him to pieces. He's a great man, and I could see meeting him and more of Ben's family. Like I got a chance to see like Ben's heart a bit more and like where he comes from, his values, and I'm so surprised how similar like it is, and our upbringing. Reminds me of my granddad, literally. Yeah. That was one of the things that Ben and I were both kind of superstitious, and for me, that kind of cemented what I was already feeling anyway, which was that there were so many micro actions through the pods that confirmed to me that this wasn't necessarily right. I'm a bit stubborn though, and I do want to see things through, and I wasn't one to sort of like, I needed to see it through and explore it off camera so that I can really understand where his intentions lie. And I did that. Yeah, what I actually have to say that the way it's been edited, the pod section, it really shows how I was feeling at the time. You know, I was conflicted, and it's so funny, they captured the moment where I was like, oh God, like this is wrong. You know, after he said, I think I love you, it was like a microsecond where I caught myself feeling that way, but I didn't think that the cameras would catch it. They caught it. I thought, wow. But and I was saying it to Ben, like, it's interesting, but
I think we were all with you in that.
Yeah, no, genuinely. But I would say I have no regrets about that, because that's how I felt at the time, you know. And I think Ben and I always say this thing: if we could go back, I think we'd do everything essentially the same. But you know, we're wiser now.
Is this the year reunion or the?
Yes, the reunion that you've just.
Yeah, it was nice to see. I think, other cast members again, but it's also what the best thing for me was like knowing how strong we are together. You know, just like saying, oh, it worked for us. I'm so lucky and so blessed to have, you know, Nicole in my life and be married to Nicole. I was like, I'm just so lucky looking around that I came through this whole thing with what I wanted. So that was really nice. That was kind of where I felt so much reassurance being sat next to you and being able to hold your hand in that.
Oh, thank you. I think same. It's like you see everyone else and it's so sad, like what they're going through, because they're our friends, right? And we don't want to see them hurt. But then it also just shows that we've been through a lot as well, and we've actually, when it mattered, we always stuck together and we always turned in. And I think that for me confirmed how strong we are in those moments where it counts. Yeah, I think for me, you know, it's we are friends with a lot of them, so it's like we don't want anyone hurting, in particular. Obviously, we want everyone to be together, because, you know, I think every single person was our friend, right? Yeah. So, you know, if they said no, we were like, selfishly, we're like, no.
I know, who wanted like 6 married.
We wanted 6 married couples, but obviously you can't get that all the time. But I think
the right thing happened, didn't it, for everybody there? And it's just, I just hope that they can navigate this period as well, together, and just, you know, things will settle. 'Cause it's hard to have all that out in the open now. Because I came into it not expecting this would happen, and not kind of thinking about the consequences down the line. More a case of, okay, well, if you find somebody, great. But I didn't think I'd actually get married.
No, me too. So there we go. Yeah. I learned that you can only learn so much as a single person, and sometimes healing can come from relationship and connections. So in those pods, I was learning about myself through other people. Like, some people were asking me questions about children and where you stand, and it really got me understanding where my position was on a lot of things. And then also in relationship with Ben, I've healed a lot of stuff that I was working through, and I guess it's like, there's that growth, and it's been great.
Yeah, and for me, it's just more. I think I needed to be braver expressing my feelings. I think it was difficult, opening up to you, because we had a really strong connection, and I didn't want to get heartbroken on international TV, but I ended up getting heartbroken on international TV by not opening up. And so, I need to be braver with that for sure. I learned that.
Aww. Is it a case of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't sort of thing? No?
I don't know.
Oh, good. I don't know. I don't know where that association came from. Yeah, fine.
I think, for me, it was getting the blessing from Nicole's dad. We had a really nice one-to-one chat, and I said, obviously, usually I would like to get traditionally approval from Nicole's mum and dad prior to proposing and getting engaged, but I didn't get the opportunity. So I had to explain to him, listen, like, I would have liked to have gone down that route. It didn't happen, but it's really important for me and Nicole to have both your blessing, your mum and dad. And he gave it, and he said, you have it. He said, no problem. He said, we wish you all the best. You have our blessing to go ahead and get married. And we had a big hug, and it was really nice. And that was never shown. And that was, like, for me, a really important moment.
Yeah. Do you see why I love him so much? You're great.
Yeah.